The Superbike Unlimited, and we're going to bring you an update to our 2020 BMW S1000 project. And I say we're doing the build. This is definitely a customer bike. His name is Ray, and then we're also doing, of course, this stock 1000 style S1000 build. So first we'll go ahead and just kind of show you how this one's coming along. This is Brandon's bike. So far we've gotten most of the harness install completed. We have several of the sensors in place. You'll see how brake pressure is handled here, as well as suspension travel. So this is all coming together. There we go. And we also have the handlebar controls in place, as well as the C125 dash, which we're just going to leave the screen protector on for now until we're finished up, but you can kind of see how everything works out. There was a little bit of work involved with having this quick turn throttle housing match up with the Alpha Racing button pod set, and we'll show you that here. Tex has had to modify just slightly the back of this housing. You can see there it's been notched to clear this new racing throttle. So this is actually designed to kind of link directly with the stock throttle housing. The race throttle housing is a little different, so requires a little bit of modification, but no problems there. Now, on to some exciting news. As you can see, we've got some boxes here. We have some goodies. So we're really excited to show you some of this stuff because it's definitely going to take this bike to the next level. So we'll get right to it. And this is all from Alpha Racing, our friends that have supplied so many of the components for this build. So let's see what we have here. This is going to be our Superbike fuel tank. That is a really nice piece, and actually stunningly light. Feels like it probably only weighs a couple of pounds. We'll be sure to put it on the scale in a moment just to compare, but crazy light. It's got the integrated fuel cap there. Shop dog's over here popping the bubbles. And then we've got, I'm sure this thing has some nice baffling in it, so we'll give you a look at that. Welds on this thing are super nice. That's what the inside looks like. And you can see here some of the baffling, or at least I hope you can see. It's a little dark. And what that does is kind of minimizes surge if the fuel level gets low. You know, so if this, like a normal fuel tank, when the fuel runs low, it'll slosh around quite a bit inside the fuel tank, and it makes the bike like cut on and off. Some of you have probably experienced that. I'm notorious for doing that on the racetrack. And a good Superbike tank like this will actually really minimize that effect because it kind of keeps the fuel around the fuel pump. So let's see what else we have. Just set that out of the way. Nice. This will be the shroud that suits that fuel tank, goes along the front of it. Another nice piece. Put this with this carbon. Looks like a base of sorts, probably to go with the subframe. Some dunnage. Hardware. And then we have the actual subframe that supports this kit. So we'll get this opened up and take a look at how that looks. Everything opened here, and as you can see, this is going to need to be assembled, but what this is basically their billet Superbike subframe. It's designed specifically to work with the fuel tank that we're going to be using here. So we'll be sure to get this all assembled shortly, and we'll show you exactly how that looks. So next we're going to go ahead and get in the box. Obviously no surprise what's going to be in there, but we'll take a look and see what wheels we're going to be using for the project. So we've got our wheel box open, and first what we have in here is basically just our sprocket carriers. We have a few sets in here, so we're just going to get those out of the way. We'll put them over here with our other stuff. Also, we got the in the wheel box, we have our remaining supporting fuel tank components, which you can see here, just an adapter for the fuel pump, several components needed to mount it, and also a key to easily tighten and remove the fuel tank cap. So, onto the wheels. That is a nice looking wheel. That is a really nice finish. It's like a satin, almost like shot peened black that looks really good. It's actually probably more of a matte finish than a satin finish, but yeah, that looks really fantastic. So obviously that's going to be our front. We'll just put that on top of the parts washer. Looks to be another. So I just want to get to the other box to see the rear, so we'll go ahead and get to that one. All right, we've got the rear wheel ready to show you guys now. So this is going to be our rear. Fantastic looking piece. One thing that's really great about this, we're going to just put this on top of all this dunnage. One thing that's really nice about this wheel is that it actually comes from OZ with the anti-slip treatment. This is something that with the production wheels that we normally see, this is considered a race wheel. So the production wheels that we normally get in, we actually typically have to do this ourselves, and it's a bit of a process. You know, we have to tape up the rim and clean and kind of scrub this surface and apply a special treatment. And what that does is, especially if a bike's got a lot of grip, and essentially what will happen is the wheel will the tire will spin on the wheel. So, you know, it causes the risk of the tire being unbalanced on the wheel, and it's basically costing drive, because essentially your tire stings still while your wheel is moving inside the tire. Now, naturally, it doesn't move. The thing's not just spinning in the tire, but nonetheless, it's not something you want to have happen. So that really helps. So next, we have our exhaust system in for the BMW. This is going to be an Akrapovic Evolution system, which is of course full titanium, and here you can see it's essentially fully assembled. It has 4 lambda bungs, and then this is going to be our silencer. Again, full tie with a carbon end cap. We may consider shortening this depending on how it looks and sounds. The customer said that he prefers a a louder exhaust and not a massive canister, so that's something we may explore. We'll see. I have a feeling it's going to look pretty good installed. And then we have some of the other components here. This is the Evo caliper we were discussing previously. These are going to have to be serviced a bit. We're going to go ahead and replace the seals, maybe replace the pistons, depending on how they look once we get them apart. Got our Samco kit in. We're going to go with a red complete race kit. Got our chains in. We're using EK3D GP, really light chain, domino grips, of course. And I think, oh, you know what? We have also the rear caliper. We'll show you that, so you can see what kind of rear caliper we're using. It's actually going to be a pretty nice little piece. Get these banjo bolts out of the way. So we're using this GP or World Superbike style rear caliper. This thing is a feather light piece. It weighs, we'll have to put the thing on the scale, but it's definitely well under a pound. So it's very, very light. It's got titanium pistons, as you can probably see in there, and titanium hardware as well. So really nice piece. We actually, I think we'll even swap this guy out with a titanium screw. So the whole thing is going to be nothing but tie and billet. Super nice. So I think that's all we really have for you right now. Pretty soon what we'll do is we're going to try to wrap up the super stock bike first, and shortly after that what we'll do is we're going to put the BMW on the scale, see how much it weighs in essentially stock trim, just with a slip-on muffler, which probably saved a little bit of weight, but we'll do the weigh-in, and then after that we'll tear the whole thing down, document that for you, and keep you updated. So stay tuned, we'll have more coming soon. And in the meantime, if you want to watch something else, we do have a really good build series for this ZX10. If this is the first time you're visiting our channel, we have a really proper World Superbike specification ZX10R, or double R rather, that we built here in house. This is a 2019 ZX10, and we have a full series of videos that document this magnificent piece of machinery. So if you want to kill some time and you don't have any more BMW videos to watch, be sure to check out that whole series. We have a whole playlist that's you know, top to bottom that thing. And we actually have some more updates for this coming soon because we just put a new exhaust and we're going to put that on the dyno and see how that goes. So anyway, we'll come back at you soon with an update on the BMW. We'll probably have something for you in a few days. So be sure to stay tuned and we'll see you then.